Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Live. Welcome to Massive Iron Live. Let's fucking kick some ass this weekend, shall we? I'm trying. I'm tired of like I've been trying to sell my house, and I'm just ready to kick some fucking ass. So let's lead off with some f bombs and really piss off the YouTube algorithm. How you guys doing? Welcome to Massive Iron Live. It's last day of March, apparently. That's what the calendar is saying, and thank goodness for that. Baseball season's here. I'm a baseball fan, so if you're a baseball fan, drop your favorite team in the comments section. My team is the Brewers. They are what they are, right? So, how you guys doing? Welcome to Massive Iron Live. Just before we kick into things, a couple of housekeeping notes. If you're new here, I appreciate you joining me. Post up all the questions you want. I'll stay on as long as you guys have questions. As long as you have questions, I'll stay on and answer the questions. So don't be shy. There's no dumb questions. You can post up off-topic questions. Just be polite, nothing crazy, and we'll always take off-topic questions. If your question does not go through, it is not me ignoring you. It is YouTube. YouTube can be really suck when it comes to comments. So try shortening your comment, or if that does not work, where is it? If all this fancy studio stuff, right? Where's the banners? That's background. The banners are up there. If that doesn't work, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman. Slide into my DM, post your questions. I answer every question posted. In fact, on Instagram right now, if you go to my Insta stories, after I'm done with this, I'll be answering questions. I have a contest going on right now. The best question on my Insta stories gets a chance to receive a whey protein powder, creatine, or a t-shirt hoodie. And I'm doing things a little bit differently. Don't panic. Doing things a little bit differently. I'm going to, whenever I find a question that I really like, I'm going to give that person free stuff. So we used to do if you had a question in before 11, but now it's just going to be any question at any time. The best questions we are going to, I'm just going to give you something for free, right? If I really like your question. So hang tough. And yeah, I think that's about it. The new music. Did you guys like that? That was from Moonic, Moonic, a YouTube channel. And he took the song that I originally had on here that I wrote and recorded in 1993, and he updated it a little bit to sound a little bit more professional. So, wow, the upgrades, right? We're getting super professional, or something like that. Massive iron. So how you guys doing? Before we get into things, just a few housekeeping notes. Please follow me on Instagram at Ben the Barman. I try to post a lot of content over there when I'm not doing the YouTubes. And, oops, wrong way. If you want coaching, superlivingtoday.com, click the coaching tab. I also have a workouts tab with tons and tons of workout options for you guys. So check that out. You can also join Team Massive, teammassiveiron.com. Come over, join. It's low cost, super low cost, and it's a gated community. No trolls, no nonsense, no chaos. Also, my equipment company, themassivefitness.com. Guys, we have the equipment out. I've been shipping orders. Yesterday, I was in the warehouse shipping some orders. So we have limited supplies. I'm not sure if you guys have seen my equipment company, but this is not just some rando crap, whatever that we threw together. Like, here's some rando racks and stuff, right? It's not like that. We took our time and tried to put together arguably the best equipment in the industry. We looked at all the big hitters and we sat down and said, how can we make it better from every single bolt choice to the steel choice? So I was not going to put my name on this stuff. Unless it was top quality. And I'm just going to talk about this for a minute and then move on. But please check it out, themassivefitness.com. And hold on one second. We have up at the top, we have the barbell. This is the Massive Power Builder bar. Now, this right now, what I have going on is free shipping on orders over 500. Code is free ship. Okay. And if you don't know what it is, you can DM me. This is the Power Builder bar. And it's a work of art. It's just absolutely a beautiful bar. And this thing will take a beating. It's got the center knurling for squatting. And there's a bigger picture. I think, oops, let me scroll up here. There you guys. Can you see that? All right. It's a work of art. So also real quick before you go, don't go. I'm just going to show you a few other things. Benches, the adjustable benches are sold out. You can see we got the adjustable bench, those sold out immediately. We also have the flat bench, which has a wider pad. These things are built for war. All right. They're not just another entry into the bench market. This stuff is built for war, right? This stuff is built to last. It looks great. It's stuff you'll be proud to have in your home gym. And again, everything is extremely durable. And real quick, if you need a new rack for your home gym, we have three. We have the Dominator, we have the Crusher, and we have the Leviathan. And these are going to last. These things are built for destruction. They come with the landmine attachment. They come with the dip bars. And you can see the catches, the posts, the catch posts are absolutely amazing. This thing is the Dominator is a complete work of art. I can't wait to get one up in my gym. And if you look at all the details, all the specs, and compare to them to any of the competition, we're absolutely owning the industry right now. So again, you get free shipping on this stuff right now. So please check that out. All right, let's dive into things. Enough with the commercials. Free shipping on orders over 500. Free ship is the code. If you don't know what it is, DM me. All right, let's get into things. I beat all of you slackers today. All of you slackers, I beat you all. You're all a little bit slow. That's okay. Dumbbells and donuts. In the context of a 3,200 calorie diet and a long lean bulk, does 80 grams of fat sound excessive? So 80 grams of fat is 720 calories. Alexa, what's 720 divided by 3,200?
720 divided by 3,200 is 0.225.
225. Anything below 20% fat intake, I would be a little bit nervous about. It's actually on a little bit low end of fat intake. But that's fine. As long as you're at 20%, you're getting in plenty of fat. You need fat for organ health, brain health, central nervous system function, skin, all that kind of stuff. So you need a quality fat intake. 22.5% is not excessive at all. To help you, if you're struggling to get in your calories, I would probably bump that to 25 or even 27.5 or even 30. So there's no issue with bumping the fat intake. I've been fat phobic for a long time. You got to get over that. You got to get over that. Fat is not the devil. Extra calories and eating crap foods and junk foods is the devil. So you have to move beyond that. We have to get beyond, as a lifting community, the propaganda programming that they're doing to us, right? It's all real foods. You got to think meat-based, animal-based, and plant-based. That's where the majority of our diet should be. And if you want to lean a little bit more plant-based, that's fine. If you want to lean a little bit more animal-based, that's fine. Don't really care as long as you're getting in your nutrients. But it's outside of that realm, animal and plant-based, where we get into processed sugar, processed flour, all kinds of added ingredients, processed food, highly palatable foods, franken foods that are built in the lab, right? Now we get into trouble. And happy Friday, everyone. Thanks as always, Steve. Thank you for tuning in. Assassin from Team Massive, the best assassin we have. Stein from Team Massive, how's it going? Timothy, thanks for joining in. Steve had to make sure he wasn't beat today. Yeah, well, I was kind of waiting around for folks to beat me, but nobody did, so I decided to post. Tips on managing sleep and recovery as a student. The only thing I could tell you that I learned as a student was that good study habits were the cornerstone. So my first year and a half in college, I would kind of go do homework whenever, right? Whenever I felt like it. After the gym, after dinner, late at night, whenever. And I found that my last, after that first year and a half, the next year, I would go to the library immediately when classes were done. Immediately. This was my habit. And I would get my homework done. And if I had classes at 8, 9, and 10, I'd be in the library at 11, and I would get my homework done. If I had a paper to do on a Saturday, I would get it done on a Saturday. Back in my day, we didn't have typewriters, so we had to write things out, we had to print things, in the old school way. But as a cornerstone, no matter what you're doing, when it comes to work, when it comes to schoolwork, when it comes to life responsibilities, my best advice is to try to get them over with immediately. So that leaves you with lower stress the rest of the day. And then at the end of the night, you can have more consistent sleep habits. Does that make sense? So that's my best tip. I understand that this is perfect world stuff. It's in a perfect world, this is the way it's going to be. But if you can get in the habit of doing your homework immediately when classes are done, get that out of the way. What's the big thing that I need to do? Right. So this goes for any discipline in life. Meal planning, meal prepping, planning the week, planning your meals for the week. Maybe you're struggling with meal prep, meal planning, meal structure. Get it over with. When you wake up tomorrow, it's the first thing you do, right? What I do on a Saturday is when I get up on a Saturday, I do all my client workouts for the week. I get them over with, right? Because that's my A1 priority. So the best thing I can give you guys is kind of a life tip is to always do your A1 priority immediately. Don't let it hang out in the air. Yesterday I had a bad bench session. It happens. And you said to ignore it. Truth. Why do you think this is the case? Why do you have a bad bench session? No idea. I'm not being dismissive, Timothy, but it doesn't matter in the long run. In the long run, I know that you're going to be successful if the effort is there and the nutrition is there. So sometimes things are going on, like we have different glycogen stores in our muscles. We have different electrolyte intakes. Sometimes our central nervous system is a little bit compromised. Sometimes our immune system's fighting something. Sometimes we can get great sleep but feel like crap the next day. We're under recovered. Sometimes we can get crap sleep and feel great the next day. The body is too complex to worry about micro fluctuations and micro nuances. You gotta win the mental game. The mental game is we are going to be a force of nature, right? No matter what the outcome. A force of nature is going to lose battles. A force of nature is not going to win every battle. But a force of nature continues to move forward when the wind is blowing in your face or the storms are there. You do not care. That is one thing I learned from ultra running. At first, when I would go and run in the snow and the rain and whatever, it was like I hate this. And then after a while, it was like I became a force of nature, right? I just continued to move forward. It was no longer in my head. So you need to always understand that the process will never let you down. And you need to continue to trust the process and move forward. When designing a new split, where do you like to start? The big hitters, like whatever it is. First we lay out our chart. What are our training days? And then we structure, where do the big hitters go? You don't have to do squats. You don't have to do deads. You don't have to do overhead press. You don't have to do bench press. But what are your big hitters? So we need to balance those in the workout first. Okay. We need to look at our big hitters and we need to prioritize them first when we're fresh. From there, we start to balance the rest of the program. What are my chest exercises? Where do they go best? What are my shoulder exercises? Where do they go best? Etc. Watch your upper posterior done real time in your lube video, but still unsure where to start. Always start with the big hitters, structure them appropriately. We have to think in the terms of the real world when we're in the gym. How is this going to play out? Right? I'm trying to balance things when I build a workout, but I'm also trying to think of how I'm going to feel in the gym when I'm doing things. So sometimes there's a little bit of ebb and flow. You know, you have to kind of maybe move things around a little bit. I want the easier doesn't mean they're not beneficial exercises, but it's easier to do a seated cable row at the end of a workout than it is to do a pendlay row, because a pendlay row involves a little bit more energy, a little bit more focus, a little bit more motivation, a little bit more rage, whatever it is you're dipping into, right? So as we move along, we generally want less impactful, less stressful exercises. Does that make sense? Thinking of switching up my split. Evolving is something we should always do over time and move away from the rep goal system. That's fine. As long as you have a progression approach and as long as your brain is thinking hard training, you'll be in a good place. Big Paul from Team Massive. Good morning, Team Massive. I'm sorry to announce I'm leaving the team. April Fool's for tomorrow. You know, that's right. April Fool's is tomorrow. So I don't have any April Fool's jokes locked and loaded into things. You know, maybe I'll do the I'm quitting YouTube crap or whatever. You know, I'm sure you guys will get plenty of that junk tomorrow. I think I'm going to do nothing. I'm probably just going to get up, take a dump, do my work, and drive on. Tomas, morning, Team Massive. Did you do anything special for opening day? Opening day in baseball. I actually went to the warehouse and shipped orders. That's all I did. I watched the Brewer game. I have a subscription to MLB. And when I'm doing client work, I have a super wide screen monitor. So I have windows that I have within my monitor. And one of my corner windows over here is usually an MLB game. Paul X. How's it going, Paul? I haven't seen you in a while. Looking forward to it, Coach. Still grinding. MN8321. I've had a pretty successful cut. Down 10 pounds in 17 days. Good start. Trying to get it done fast and rip the Band-Aid off. Good. Go in hard, go in fast, and get it over with. You're on a good path. For the first time, I kept my fats high and ate almost no carbs, except right before a workout. Even though food volume is way lower, why do I not feel hungry? Don't know. Could be it could be from the satiety of the protein and the fats. So some people seem to be a little bit more hypersensitive to lower carb eating, but you seem to be doing fine. So sometimes we don't always know. Just run with it and run it hard. Big Sam. The bulk is going well, and I finally broke through plateaus. However, I can no longer see abdominal definition, and I'm starting to get love handles. So, as general, and don't turn this into a rule, and don't do witch hunts here, but as a general guideline for you guys, when you can no longer see movie fat, when you can no longer see love handle fat, when you can no longer see lower belly fat, and when you can no longer see back fat, you are usually at 18% and under. When you start to visibly notice those things, you're starting to get slightly above 18%. So, where do you want to cut? You can cut anywhere from 18 to probably 25%, depending on how aggressive you want to bulk. Once you get above 25%, though, you're getting into the hairy territory, right? So 25% is a quarter of your weight. And, you starting to get into, like, if you were 240 pounds, that would mean you're pretty much close to your natural potential, depending on height. So 240 pounds at 25% is way too big, right? But if somebody is at like 200, 220, that's okay. You can probably, depending on your height, you can easily go up to 220, maybe 225 or 230. If you want to do longer term bulks, as long as you can rip off the Band-Aid and do a nice cut. Big Max Smith. For people who work out regularly but don't sweat much when they train, should they still try to get in more salt? Yes. Sweat, don't worry about sweat. Sodium is an electrolyte and you need it. It can impact your energy. So regardless of what you're doing sweat-wise, your body is running through electrolytes, right? It's running through sodium, potassium, calcium, etc. Magnesium. You need to get those in no matter what. It'll impact energy. So absolutely. How did opening day go? Any early season predictions? I watched the Brewers get skunked by the Cubs. And during dinner, I watched the end of the Toronto St. Louis game, which was quite fun. Toronto had a couple of hitters with just putting out like 4 or 5 hits. So I watched the end of that game. That was a lot of fun. Any early season predictions? I think DeGrom might be in for a tougher season in Texas than we expect. I think the Mets might be a little bit struggle bus this year with injuries. And I don't know. The NL is hard to read beyond that. The AL, I'm hoping for Toronto to be above New York. Cleveland's close to me. I went to a Cleveland game. I like going to Cleveland games. They're a fun environment. I like Cleveland games better than Cincinnati. I hope they do well. And it would be fun to see the Angels, the Angels, actually do well this year. Blaine, thoughts on bicep tendonitis that appeared the day after heavy squats? That could be from the gripping. Gripping is tied into elbow tendonitis. So what you want to do on a squat is maybe widen your grip, loosen your grip, maybe do a safety bar squat. I don't know how you're squatting right now. I don't know your weight, but one of the issues you can get into with the squat is that it can start to tear up your shoulders, and all that gripping can contribute to tendonitis. So just something to be aware of. If you can do a safety bar squat, you might want to consider that. Happy Freitag. How's it going? Team Massive. Finished cut 325 at maintenance this week. Weight jump 2 pounds. That's normal. Plan to disregard. That's water. That's right. This is a right approach. Yeah. Basically, what I advise people to do is ignore the first 5 days. Track every day for 5 days. Go about at maintenance or slightly above the first 5 days. The first 5 days, you're going to be shifting gears. So we're not trying to do, any reverse dieting or anything fancy like that, but we are trying to get a grasp of where things are at and let things kind of settle. So you want to go at maintenance or 300 calories above for 5 days, weigh yourself, and you should see it level off. If it continues to go up, then you're probably eating too much. Big Brandon, what's your opinion on offering friendly but no? Nope. It's not unsolicited advice. No. Nowhere in life should you do that. It's not your business. And I'm being polite. Never, never, never. It's not your job to save the world. It's not my job to save the world. And when you see somebody in life doing something that's bad for them, keep your nose in your pants, right? Don't stick it down theirs. It's not your business. Don't ever do it. If somebody is doing something that is destroying the equipment or leaving the gym in shambles, go tell the staff, right? But beyond that, and I'm not saying this to you, Brand, I'm saying this in general, keep your mouth shut. I see it every day. I'll occasionally go to the YMCA with my wife. She likes to train there. And I'll see all these shenanigans, right? Half squats, hip high deadlifts, just people about ready to shit out their spine. They're not paying me for coaching, and it's none of my business. You need to stick in your lane, and you need to do your own thing and save your stress and save your worry. I don't comment online. I don't comment in person. And you should not either. Do you psych yourself up for lifts? Lifting for me is, there's days where I'm just trying to get the work done, punching the clock. But still then, on those types of days, I'm super passionate about lifting. I can't not be passionate about lifting, right? When people say they're bored with lifting, I want to literally, the voice in my head is go take up knitting. What are you doing? Like, if you don't like lifting, you're just going to have to punch the clock. But for me, lifting is passion. I absolutely love it. I love the feel of control. I love the feel of heavy weight. I love having the ability to turn myself into a superhero. And I love having the ability to improve over last time. Now, I see these YouTube channel guys, like, don't focus on improving over last time. That's their system. That's not the way we work here. Because I want to improve over last time. I'm going to train hard. I'm going to train smart. I'm going to train with control. But damn it, I want to improve over last time. I'm not in the gym to mess around and hold steady and have like some kind of vague concept of progression, right? I'm going to train hard. I'm going to train heavy, and I'm going to train for plus ones. And when I like just having that progress makes it all worthwhile for me. Timothy, would you recommend creatine for most? 100%. Creatine has benefits for energy, for brain function, a lot of benefits. It is a phytochemical found in food and meat, and it's a great thing. I sell my creatine at superlivingtoday.com. If you want to support a little guy, give me $5. I'm only marking it up like $5, literally. But absolutely. Brandon, my Little League star is working out for the first time. What would you prioritize for home run power? I need to know age, but we have to build a base. We have neuromuscular adaptation or control over the body, right? So that's the first funnel we need to get your little guy into. Push-ups, pull-ups, inverted rows, sit-ups, planks. And then we try to get them on dumbbell and maybe machines if they have access to machines. Something that doesn't involve a lot of technical work. Like a squat is technical. A lot can go wrong when you don't have a good squat coach or a good deadlift coach. So we want to avoid that stuff. We want to do stuff that is going to give these guys bang for the buck right out of the gate. And it's not going to be a higher risk situation. So machines and dumbbells after that. Excuse me. Steve, you mentioned in videos that you used to hit on upper a barbell bench, incline dumbbell bench, right? And then on B, incline barbell bench, and then flat dumbbell. Correct. So my upper schedule used to be, just to recap, I had an A and B week. A and B week. A week was flat bench, start off with flat bench. B week was incline bench. A week, follow that with incline dumbbell. So flat bench, incline dumbbell. B week was incline barbell, flat dumbbell. That's how I used to roll. And this was probably the first 20 years of my lifting. And then I didn't do dips and push-ups in a superset back then. That's what I give clients. So that's what I used to do. And then depending on where I was at in my training, sometimes I would do shoulders afterwards. So I do barbell or dumbbell overhead press, and then laterals and stuff like that. So sometimes I do machines, plate loaded chest press, guillotine press, whatever I had available. Brandon, I see the same guys at the gym regularly. Should one introduce themselves? I let things develop naturally. I'll nod the head, how you doing? Or if I see someone kill it, I'll say good set. I don't lie. If someone's doing monkey shit, right, I'm not going to say good set. And you can respect the effort, but I think in life there is benefit just to being a good person, and nodding your head, or because these guys are in the gym, folks are in the gym, and there's so many dicks in this world. There's so many people that are just dicks, looking for trouble, looking to be King Kong, looking to be an asshole. So a little thing like a head nod, how you doing? Good set, whatever. I let things develop naturally. I'm not in the gym to be your bud, right? And the last thing I want in the gym is someone of those people in life, the over talkers, that you're in a social situation, and you're trying to focus on something, and they're over here like, wow, I got to tell you the story. The other day I was in here, and this guy was on the machine. Like, dude, kick rocks. I'm trying to lift, okay? So I'm a little bit nervous about getting too connected with people for that reason. Like if somebody is doing this to me in the gym, I'll say, excuse me, I got to go. I'll cut them off. I got to go do my next set. I'm not trying to be rude. I'll say, look, I'm not trying to be rude. I got to do my next set. And that's just the way I have matured. That's the way I've learned to roll. It's okay to set boundaries for yourself, right? So if somebody's in the gym and they're blowing smoke up your ass, it's okay to say, excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but I got to do my next set. And they're going to react one of two ways: mature, they understand, or they're going to be like, somebody that has no social construct, no construct of what is accepted socially, and they aren't going to like you. But that's probably okay because this person doesn't understand social dynamics, and that's their problem, not yours, right? Deep voice one: shoulders and arms split, then posterior. You asked, I'm sorry, was this a chest, shoulders and arms split, then posterior? No. Some days I'd have chest and shoulder days. Sometimes I'd have chest and shoulder days. A lot of times during my heavy lifting, I was doing shoulders and chest together. So I'd do shoulders and chest, back and biceps, or back, legs, and then maybe arms. So a lot of times I did shoulders, I did push together. Do you think landmine squat variations are a decent way to progress? I don't really like goblet squats. I'll program them in if I have to, and a lot of guys like them. But you're asking for younger lifters. Goblet squats are a good place to start for younger lifters because they're low impact, good way to teach the squat movement pattern. A landmine can be okay as long as it's not a struggle for them to get in a position. So yeah, a landmine is okay. So no issues there. I like when my phone just randomly blows up, like just randomly lights up and there's nothing. It says no face detected. Like for some reason, my phone is trying to figure out my face. Working your push-pull legs right now for the first time. Never did an arm day. That's push-pull arms legs, sorry. Can't wait to get the BHUD guns. I love the push-pull arms legs. You can keep it a little bit fluid, and this is a good split for those of you that like to work out 5-6 days a week. You can do push, you can do pull, you can do arms, you can do legs. You cycle, and you can insert rest days where you want. So the arms day almost feels almost like a pleasant deload compared to legs day, right? Because you get to do curly whirlies, and you get to do tricep extensions. And then you got leg day looming, which is like Godzilla. Godzilla's waiting in the backyard, and you're in the house playing checkers with Tinky Winky, right? That's how it is. Tinky Winky is arms day, like from the Teletubbies, and Godzilla's lurking outside. That's leg day. Tinky Winky. Where did I pull that reference out of I was a dad once. My kids watched the Teletubbies. What's your advice for someone who wants to start a fitness channel? Number one, when the voice says, I'm not good on video, tell the voice, I do not care, right? What you have to understand is two things. What am I about? Okay. What are you about? I made a graphic on Instagram. Let me pull it up. Let me pull up the gram. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We're going to find it. And this will have a point. This will have a point. And the barman, that's me. Let's pull up the graphic. And it's share, present, share screen, application window, there we go. So I made this graphic. What am I about? If people watching you don't know what you're about, then there's nothing for them to connect with, okay? What am I about? Them. This isn't a dig. The bodybuilder, muscle builder guys. Let's focus on hard quality sets, avoiding over-reliance on squats and deads, nail the mind-muscle connection, and build muscle. That's okay. That's their world. I have a little bit of that in my world. Them, the power lifters, the strength guys. Let's focus on low rep sets, the big compounds, crush squats, deads, and bench, destroying PRs on a daily basis and build strength. Okay? We know what them are, right? We know what both of thems are, the first two thems. This is what I'm about. What are you about, Brandon? We all have to determine this, and we're not about what somebody else is about. We're about what we're about, and that's okay. I am about, let's focus on hard quality sets, heavy weight on brutal compounds, back it with intense machine and isolation work, live for plus ones, and crush it all, right? So if you want to build a fitness channel, you have to decide, what are you about? What is your passion? And don't do videos on crap that's not your passion. Louis Simmons wasn't doing videos about teacup laterals, right? That's his lane. Athlete X, he's just pissing in every lane, right? He's a strength coach. He's a muscle building coach. He's doing, I don't know, waiter curls. He's teaching you how to sleep, fix your back. Athlete X is like pissing in every lane, right? We can't do that because we're not running around at 4.7% body fat. You have to pick your lane, and you have to understand that your lane is your lane, and you're not going to attract everybody. People have often come in the 12 years I've done YouTube and like, you're a small channel, ha 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 ha, right. You don't get many views per video, ha ha ha, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is the people you can help, right? This is about people, not about views. And I think if anything, My channel is a perfect example. I've done it for 12 years. I hang around to 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6, 7, 8,000 views per video. Never really big, but I've developed a big, tight, close base of people that come for my advice. I stick in my lane. They know what I'm about. And everyone that has a lane and stays in their lane, they're going to build their posse, their tribe. They're going to build their people. Like, people will come to me and like, what do you think about the way basement bodybuilding trains? Or what do you think about the way Free Verity Schofield trains? I respect those guys. I respect them immensely. They have integrity and they like to train in their own styles. But my way is not their way, and that's okay. I don't have to be them. They don't have to be me. They're going to help people training in their style. Jeffrey's going to help people training in his style. Alpha's going to help people training in his style. And I'm going to build a tribe that wants to train and lose weight and run and do all the things that I do. So if you want to build a fitness channel, number one, you need to write on paper, what am I passionate about? What am I about? And you need to be consistent. I've done 2,400 videos, never missed a beat. All the while, the people in the background are laughing. You're never going to do anything. You're never going to get past 5,000 views or 5,000 subscribers. You're never going to get past 10. You're never going to get past 20. You know, forget numbers. It's all about people. If you don't make it about people, nothing else matters. You're just trying to push buttons for money, and that's going to be a tediously long process. Shoulders and arms split, then lower posterior the next day. No, you don't want to do back after the day after biceps. Never. You need a rest day after biceps before you do back work. Oops, and somehow I deleted that. I found that the enter tab will do this. Maybe I can scroll down. Oh, that's scroll down. I found that one of the tabs can do some magic. Oh. All right. Happy birthday, Barry. 60. You only hit 60 once. Congrats. Absolutely, you can get a shout out. I hope things are well, my friend. I hope you're healthy. I hope your training's going well. And just keep up the great work. Brandon, what's your opinion on healthy? No, it's just nonsense. There's no healthy at every size. Can I be healthy at 230? We all can be healthy-ish, but the heart still has to support the weight. You can be as healthy as you can be at 230. You can be as healthy as you can be at 240. But that doesn't mean it's a healthy weight. You just need to look at mortality statistics. The heart has to support that weight. So that's the bottom line. Mortality statistics, having extra fat has a lot of negatives in life. It's not a fairy tale. Extra estrogen and fat cells, that's cancer encouraging. Okay, do your research on that. Harut, what's going on, Harut? Happy Friday. Max, when do you stop a row set? When you feel you've lost power and it's kind of a slow feeling. On a barbell row, on a seated cable row, you should be able to drive, right? Drive, control, drive. When you are like, right? When you lose that power, that's when you shut down a set, because that's form failure. That's mechanical failure. That's when you can't get a bar off your chest, when you can't generate speed, that's failure. On a press, on a pull, it's the opposite. When you have to kind of compartmentalize it. Yvonne, good morning, team. Would have joined earlier, but wanted to see how heavy 67%. My bad. We're doing on Team Massive. We're doing a 10 by 10. One of the challenges is doing a 10 by 10 around on bench. You have to do 10 sets of 10 reps with around 67.5% of your 1 rep max on bench. So you can go to 65, you can go to 62.5. It's just a general rule. But one of the challenges is 10 sets a week around 67.5. Yvonne, for skull destroyers, how do you typically program progression? That's more intuitive. The skull destroyer is a rest pause. For those of you that don't know, it's 2 to 3 reps of a skull crusher, 1, 2. You can do 2 to 3, and then 2 to 3 reps here. If you're tired, you can rest pause here with the bar on your chest for a second or two, and then you continue. So because it's a rest pause protocol, sorry, my chair is acting goofy. You want to progress when you can. So it's kind of intuitive. It's a hard lift to progress on, but when you don't feel dead on the second set, probably good idea to move the weight up 5 pounds and challenge yourself. Adam, hey, Big Hairy, happy Friday. Same to you, my friend. I have needed to be away from the gym for 2 weeks. Overall activity has been low. What's your preferred way to get back at it? Well, I put together, I'm trying to find it on Instagram. Hold on 1 second, folks. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. This is on Instagram, and I'm going to present, share screen. Okay, so let me roll this up a little bit. I don't know if I can. So if you're more than 10 days away, you drop weight 10% on the big lifts. More than 20 days away, you drop weight 20%. So if you've been away from a big lift like squats, bench, or deads or whatever for more than 10 days, you want to lower weight at least 10%. You can drop a set as well. So you want to kind of ease into things, and you want to take that. You want to listen to your body. Okay, so be smart about it. You mentioned, whoops, let me stop this shit. You mentioned that you used to hit, we already did that one. And so, did you put, or I used to do a lot of, I think I mentioned this, I used to do a lot of chest and shoulder days. So it wasn't upper posterior. I used to do chest and shoulders on the same day. I was young, doesn't always make sense to you guys, but that's kind of what I did and kind of what I like to do at times. If so, did you put overhead presses or seated shoulder presses in that combination? A lot of times I did chest and shoulders together, and a lot of times I do chest and shoulders separately, depending on how I feel. These days, it's on separate days. Paladin, is the Meadows row the best alternative to a single-arm dumbbell row? I would say so. I mean, in gyms, one of the limiting factors is being able to do a dumbbell row because there's just simply not enough weight. So we're like, what do we do next? If your gym has a T-bar station, or you can set up a T-bar station, doing a Meadows row, we can load those suckers with as much weight as we can handle. So a great alternative to a dumbbell row, correct. Have you watched The Witcher? I watched the first 5 minutes. Didn't some monster come up out of the water? I'm like, well, this looks a little hokey. And then I kind of turned it off. I don't know. It's just a whim. I turned it on, turned it off. I have not watched it. Eric, good morning. You're killing the cut. Thank you. What kind of meals are you eating? Still doing the two-a-day bro splits. I'm not doing the 2-day bro splits. I'm doing the single workouts. This last week's been hard because I've been trying to sell my house and get out massive fitness equipment, themassivefitness.com orders. But what meals am I eating? Breakfast, I usually have my protein bars with a Greek yogurt. Where are they? Here they are. They're on my Instagram. I keep all my good content on my Instagram-y. If you scroll down, I got massive protein cakes. I eat these for breakfast. with a 1 Greek yogurt. So that's like 250 calories. And I will eat up to 800 calories during the day. So that's meal 1. Meal 2 is what do I generally have for meal 2? I will have kind of whatever I feel like during the day. So I keep that a little bit fluid. Sometimes turkey bacon, sometimes one of these, quick protein, sometimes a protein bar. I have these more on Friday. Where you at? Where you at? Hold on. This is my favorite protein bar. So I don't know if you can see that. Let me stop share this. The 1 bar birthday cake. Friday I have 2 of those. Eggs, whatever. I get to 800 calories during the day. Usually I have the same kind of stuff. Like I will have usually the protein cakes and a Greek yogurt. And then I will have like 2 more Greek yogurts during the day. And then one of these or a 1 bar. So I kind of graze on high protein stuff. You get about 1,800 calories in during the day, or 700, 800 calories in during the day. And then during the evening, I have ground venison, ground wild boar, or ground bison with either rice or instant mashed potatoes. Excuse me. Sometimes I have eggs with egg whites. So I'll take rice. I'll take a 250 calorie container of egg whites and I'll add 3 to 4 eggs on that as well. I know you don't like hypotheticals, but if you could eat only sushi or wings for the rest of your life, which would it be? I mean wings. If I had to make a choice, sushi I can eat every other day. But wings I could probably eat every day. I'm not gonna lie. Who doesn't like wingy, right? I like wingy. Dr. AJ, good morning. For 50 plus guys after a hard leg workout, any benefits of air squats to failure? There's no downsides. I mean, you're going to kind of, as a finisher, you're going to kind of punch it when it's down. So cumulative work, there's no downside in that sense. After a hard bench chest, yeah, of course, there's always a benefit to that. I would absolutely consider doing that. If you like doing it, absolutely. Having a little finisher or like a little bit of 1-2% punch at the end is rarely a bad thing. If using slang shot for dips and hitting the progression indicator, is it better to add weight? I like the support of a slanger, but I would probably start to test 1 set without, because you would like on dips, unless they're taxing your shoulders, you would like to get them to the point where you could do them without a slanger. But we're in no rush here. So I would probably do 1 set without the first set, and then the back off sets with the slanger with a little bit of weight, just as a test of both. Raphael, I got a trap bar on sale at Walmart for $59, rated for 1,000 pounds. Yeah, I think a lot of people I know got those Walmart trap bars. I think that's where I got my trap bar, to be honest with you. I went on Walmart one day just randomly, and they had like a trap bar for like $79. So I let everybody on Team Massive know. And I think that's what I use. I don't have any issues with mine if it's the same model. John Paul, any tips on getting back when you're in the middle of a bulk and got sick for a week? The first thing is don't rush back to the gym when you guys are sick. When you feel 100%, take an extra day off. Allow your immune system to get back up to speed. Get in your sodium that day, not over sodium, but get in your sodium. That's an electrolyte. Get in your carbs, get in your water, and get some rest. And then come back the next day. And if it's been more than 10 days, follow the protocol I posted earlier. Are browning hats more anabolic than sleep? Tell Dr. Mike I said yes. They're more anabolic. I think I think I bought every one in the market of these. I love the feel of the hat. It's not like this is solid, not bending. I love the curve. It accentuates the sexiness of my head, right? And it's kind of an oily, greasy look, the hat. That's how it comes. And I just like the hat. It's good for hiking. It's good for playing action figure, right? Fighting crime in the city. Who wins in a death match? John Wick, the Punisher, or Rambo's going to get his butt kicked. Rambo did his thing, but John Wick and the Punisher, man, that'd be a 2 out of 3 falls match. So I'd pay a pay-per-view for a 2 out of 3 falls match on that. All right, guys, I'm going to get a drink. We're about an hour in, and keep your questions coming. We will keep rolling. And I'm going to get a drink here, and then we'll continue. I got to back up just in case. So on Team Massive, we're doing a challenge. So if you want to join Team Massive, go over to teammassiveiron.com. Starting tomorrow, any of you fatties want to lose weight? Any of you cake-eating fatties want to lose weight? Any of you cake and pie-eating fatties want a challenge? The challenge for April is come over to Team Massive Iron. And if you lose more weight than me, I'm going to give you a whey. I'm going to give you creatine. I'm going to give you $50 in massive swag. So it's a challenge. If you can lose more weight than me in April, you fatties, then you win. So come on over. If you need some motivation, join Team Massive Iron. I am pacing about 12 to 13 pounds a month right now. So we're doing, that is one of our challenges in April. So if any of you tubbos, any of you lardos, any of you blubber butts, any of you fattos, I'm saying that as an ex-fatto myself, don't get triggered. Just humor. But if any of you guys are struggling with motivation, please come on over. So, all right, we're gonna move forward. Keep your questions coming. Just again, please, if I don't get your question, you can head over to Instagram at @BenTheBarman, slide into my DM. If you want coaching, please go over to superlivingtoday.com, click the coaching tab. I coach for a living. I'm not a check-in once a week guy. I check in 5 days a week. Team Massive, teammassiveiron.com, massive fitness equipment, themassivefitness.com for the best damn gym equipment on the planet. And I'm doing orders over 500 get free shipping, so get it now. All right. Alpha Destiny built his physique by mainly training only twice a week. Is that true? That doesn't pass the smell test. I've known Alpha for a long time. And I've never heard that before. That doesn't pass the smell test. I will say John Christie, Coach John Christie, trained people, thousands of people on 2 days a week. As long as you're training hard and properly, you can get to wherever you want to go. So if you do it wisely, is it the most efficient? No. Alpha Destiny aside, is training twice a week. Does it facilitate, does it expedite? Is it the best way? No. 4 days a week is probably the best way because it allows for a little bit more exercise selection, etc. But you can do a lot of things on 2 to 3 days a week. Ugh. And Reese, I'm going to give you, head over to Instagram at BenTheBarman, slide into my DM, or email me, bendthebarman@gmail.com. I'm going to give you, you're a winner. And I might pick more winners later, so keep your questions coming. I'm going to give you a Massive Iron t-shirt, a Massive Iron hoodie, a Massive Iron whey, or a Massive Iron creatine. Or you can get that sexy Massive Iron coffee cup, or that flag if you want, or the Massive Iron windmill. Where is it? Massive Iron windmill. Just kidding. We don't have a Massive Iron windmill. Just joking. What not? What's a good rate of weight loss? As much as you can. When you're starting out as a skinny, weight gain. Sorry. I read that as weight loss. I'm so used to seeing weight loss questions. If you're a skinny guy, you probably, if your training is right, you probably want to look to do a good 6 to 12 month bulk. Just get in the pit and roll. And I would say 2.5 pounds a month, then kind of reassess 2 to 2.5 pounds a month, 24, 25 a year, and then maybe assess, do you need to do a mini cut? Paul, because you're not really going to gain more than, even if you were peaking out, you're not going to gain more than 16 pounds of muscle your first year. Even if you were had all the stars aligned. So there's really no point in growing more aggressive than 2 pounds a month. Paul, 5 miles complete. Let's get this weekend started. Nice work, Paul. Barbell 4-4. Hey, big hairy ugly dude, do you think a low volume, 10 sets per body part? That's not really low volume. I start people at 12. So that might be low volume compared to some people. Can produce good results. That's all I've ever done, man. 12 sets per body part. Major body part. Absolutely. IpMac, if you had to choose just 2 triceps and 2 biceps exercises, man, I was thinking the other day, there's so many good bicep exercises. Biceps are really unique, more unique in that way. There's just drag curls, 21s, preacher curls, pinwheel curls, hammer curls, single arm curls, cable curls, machine curls, twirly, whirly, burly curls, cable curls, single arm concentration curls, just all kinds of exercises. The staples got to be an easy bar curl and a dumbbell curl, barbell and a dumbbell curl. Those are probably at the top of the list. And from a dumbbell curl, you could probably do a pinwheel curl if you want. Get that sexy shrug action. And Tricepticons. I love close grips, but I love compounds. Skull destroyers and some kind of a cable extension or cable overhead extension are probably the meat and potatoes exercises. And then, from there, I like assisted triceps push downs. If you can find a machine where you can really challenge things. Rico, how's it going, Rico? Barbell Bryce, best training advice for home gym users with no machines. I don't know if this is training advice, but if you're going to be a home gym user, you need to get a cable station for $300, $400, $500, and you need to get a set of dumbbells. And that's my best advice. If not, you need to get a gym membership, because just doing barbell only is going to be all sucko. When combining 2 bro split days into one workout, that's a haul. So I'm not saying never do that. If you're going to do back-to-back workouts, what you need to do is immediately when the first workout is done, you need to get hydrated. You need to get some sodium, some water, and some carbs in your system. And you need to sit down and cool down. If you do not sit, get your heart rate low, and cool down, the blood will stay in your skin trying to cool you down. So if you're walking around or doing a treadmill or whatever, it's going to slow digestion. So you need to sit down. You need to get some sodium and some water in your system and some carbs. Maybe something like a Honey Stinger Chewies. Honey Stinger has these chewies, right? Really gummies, really, is that what they're called? I used to use them when I'm running. Energy chews. Hold on. So let me show you. If you're going to do this kind of stuff, you need to see this. All righty. So you can get these at Walmart, Amazon, wherever. But they have a little bit of caffeine and they have some simple sugars, really easy to knock out. So either that or a little Debbie, like a zebra cake, something really light and fluffy, right? Light and fluffy that you can put in your cake hole and move on. You know, that, and you need to sit for 15 to 20 minutes. Let everything take its course, like get started, get the digestion process started, get the water digestion started, get the sodium digestion started, cool down, slow down, meditate, whatever. Be a slug. Let that start. And once it's been like 20 minutes, then maybe start doing your warm-ups for your second workout. Reese, if you train at home, is it okay to lie down in bed for a couple minutes? You can do whatever you want, man, as long as you get that workout done. All that matters is hard training and weekly volume, my friend. You can pet the dog, watch baseball. I watch baseball in between sets. You can do whatever. The old schoolers, man, they'd pack a lunch and live in that gym. You can do whatever you want, my friend, as long as you crush hard training and you get that weekly volume in. Just lying in bed with your eyes closed. Anything that slows your heart rate down is going to help with recovery. I heard that even when we aren't sleeping, if we can just relax and close our eyes and get our heart rate down, that it is beneficial. So do what you can to relax. Big Jason Smith. Jason, how's it going? At the same body fat percentage, do stomach vacuums actually make bodybuilders? No. It gives you kind of control. It gives you muscular control, but, you know, it's not going to make your waist look smaller. I'm an intermediate planning to bulk for 3 years. Someone's packing a lunch and going for it. Is it okay to throw in a random 10-day mini cuts? Yeah. You have to look and just don't use those as decompression, deload periods from your training. Don't do any rest pause. Don't do any intensity work. Just maybe dial your training down to 2 sets per exercise. Maybe drop the weight 20%. Let your body recover a little bit because you're going to do a mini cut. Over the long run, if you do these little 10-day mini cuts, say you did 3 of them a year, that's still going to be like 8 to 10 pounds of fat loss, 6 to 10, however aggressive you go, over a year. So if you bulk 3 years, that's going to probably keep at least 18 to 20 grams or pounds of fat off your body. Does that make sense? So a little bit of mini cut, is not a bad thing. Where are we at? I know you're not a fan. I'm not even looking at the rest of the question yet. These are the questions that usually lead me on rants when somebody says, I know you're not a fan. But is there a scientific explanation as to why bulking followed by shorter cuts is inferior? Well, when you're starting a program after a cut, there's an acclimation period, right? So if you're on a bulk, if you're on a cut, if you're getting on a new program, like let's say you're on a cut and the weight's going to be down, your energy is going to be down. So there's going to be kind of a 1 to 2 week ramp up period. So it's not efficient. You're kind of down regulating and up regulating and down regulating and up regulating. So it's not efficient. It's not efficient because on a cut, your energy is going to be down, your lifts are going to be down, you can't really push per progression. And then the first week or 2 or 3 weeks on a bulk, you're getting your strength back, your energy back, and then that only leaves you like 4 to 6 weeks to run. So it's just not efficient. I don't know if I'm consuming enough salt. Well, first off, track if you can. Use an app like Chronometer to track your regular food. And make sure you get in enough potassium, because when it comes to blood pressure, it's the sodium potassium balance that matters a lot. So, if you get in enough potassium, it's not really a concern if you're a little bit higher on sodium. An athlete needs more sodium, right? So you have to be very cognizant of getting in enough salt. Food generally, adding a little bit of salt to your food is a good. I don't oversalt. I just add a little bit of salt to meals. That's probably a good start. Okay, Jay, at 2. Is fat distribution set in stone, or can it change over time? From what I've seen genetically, looking at different fat distributions, profiles of even different cultures, I believe there are some. The female body is a very good example of this. They have probably a wider range of fat storage. Men tend to be belly storage, right? Front belly storage, and then it spills out into our man boobs and our love handles and our lower back. And then when it gets really bad, that's morbidly obese levels. But men tend to be more uniform in that sense, generally. And women, you can see an obese woman that has not a lot of, breast fat. You can see women that don't look obese, but have like huge hips and booties. Women can, and then you have women that store it like men. So does it change over time? No, not that I'm aware of. Certainly not for men. Abdullah, will your equipment be shippable to the UK? I can ship anywhere, but you have to pay shipping costs. And I would hate to even see what that would be. I would hate to even see, because like yesterday I shipped a rack, a barbell, and 2 benches to one order. I don't know how much weight that is. 400 pounds flying overseas to the UK. I'd ship anywhere, but the shipping costs, man, they're just going to escalate. I've never shipped 500 pounds to the UK. It might be as much as the equipment. If a consistent calorie surplus, how much will a low carb diet affect gains? It won't. I've had people, look, a lot of this is personal preference, and some people will try to go to war with me. But even when I was running, I was a low carb guy. My running coaches were like, "Gotta have carbs." I'm like, I don't need a lot of carbs. I'm a diabetic. When I would have like a Little Debbie before a run, I'd feel like crap. My insulin levels would make me feel like crap. So as long as your calories are fine, you're going to be okay. As long as you handle it fine. How much volume, number of exercises on an average did you younger self do? About the same as I do now, to be honest with you. About the same. I never did high volume stuff. It was always about hard work. And after about 70 to 75 minutes, I was done. If you track curly whirlies and obsess over progression, it can cause you to use bad form. No, it doesn't cause you to use bad form. Laziness causes you to use bad form. I track curls and I obsess over progression, but your logic flow isn't your logic is broken here. It's the assumption that tracking curls and obsessing over progress always causes you to use bad form. I obsess over squats and obsess and I track them, and it doesn't cause me to use bad squat form. So I appreciate you being a part of this channel, but that's 150% steaming pile of horseshit. How important do you see stretching? Not at all. Zero. Negative 52.5%. No value. You can stretch if you want, but it'll add no value. In fact, stretching before has been shown to potentially decrease strength. So if you want to stretch or loosen up afterwards or do yoga or whatever, just don't do it before. It's going to add no value building strength or muscle. Mike says genetics play a large role in who makes most of their gains early on. No, it what makes here's the honest truth. Genetics are you're tossing out generalities here. I have horrible bicep genetics. I have good back strength genetics. I have poor pull-up genetics. Because of my limb lengths and leverages, I can crush rows. Because of my longer arms, I can crush deadlifts. Because of my arms and my bicep genetics, I suck at pull-ups. So genetics, we have to understand that it's not like, here's my genetic, right? It's 1 point on 1 pixel on the screen. That's my genetics. It's a genetic profile. And it's rich and varied, right? And complex. So some people are more disposed to naturally carry more muscle. But what I have seen is that those that train hard and eat right make rapid progress. And that is the biggest variable that matters. And it's not true that some random genetic person rushes off. If anything, I see people with good genetics training improperly and not nailing their nutrition and wasting things. So it's a generality. I'm not sure of Dr. Mike's quote, but that whole thing, it's way too complex to just bottle it and cap it like this. Barbell 4-4. Another question, can I make good gains off a low-carb diet? Yes. Yep. Absolutely. 100%. That's how I eat mostly. How to get the most out of a big hitter workout if you only have 60-pound dumbbells? So if you're doing dumbbell bench, it's going to depend on the exercise. Like an Arnold press or a seated overhead press, you can do volume, like 5 sets of 10. You could do supersets, so you could pre-fatigue with an upright row or a lateral raise and then do overhead press. So you could do like a superset. You can do rest pause work. Dumbbell bench, you could change a dumbbell bench press into a barrel press, which a barrel press is like, instead of doing a fly, you're kind of going down at a 90-degree angle. I've started doing these more with my clients because it's a little bit of a nice break. So you could kind of do a barrel press instead of a dumbbell. The only thing you're going to struggle with is a dumbbell row. And then you probably have to do a Meadows row. Leo, I don't do deloads. That's gonna, that triggers some people, but hear me out. I don't plan deloads. Here's why. You can plan a deload. I don't care. But I don't make them arbitrary or, if you want to take a week of break every 3 to 4 months of training, by all means, go ahead. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not against that. But hear me out. During the course of a year, you are going to have times when you're sick. Okay? You need to take off from the gym. During a year, you're going to have holidays that you want to take off, that you can't train. Okay? You might have vacation where you want to go to Florida and have fun with the kids or whatever. You might have travel time when you're flying, can't lift, away from home, can't lift, right? And you might have work demands, school demands, whatever, where you can't lift or you got work deadlines. So we have all this life stuff. It's random. It's wide varying. Kid gets sick, right? Your kid gets sick. You have to stay home for 2 days. Can't train. Or the wheels fell off the car. You got to work overtime this weekend. Can't train. Or you got to write a paper all weekend. Can't train. Or you just got sick. Can't train. Right? So if we look at all of these things that can invade our life, they are going to take us away from the gym a substantial amount of time per year. That's when I like to naturally deload. I like to let my deloading happen naturally. So you got a vacation coming up in in August. That's when your deload hits. Look at the calendar. When am I not going to be able to train? Okay, those are my deloads. We have to think a little bit here. This is why I don't plan arbitrary deloads, because then you got that, and then you're taking time away for other stuff. When am I going to be away? When am I going to want to be away from training? When are the vacation? When are the holidays? When am I traveling? Right? And that's when you structure time away from the gym. Then you have to plan. Where I'm probably going to be sick. So if you're winter training and you tend to get sick during the winter, we have to kind of be smart about things a little bit, okay? We have to think forward a little bit. I usually get a cold during the fall. If that's you, then instead of planning a deload from August to December, just let the deload occur when you get sick, if you get a cold every year, right? So look at your calendar, go on your calendar, mark off the holidays you're not going to want to train, your birthday because you're going to get out and go get drunk, whatever you're going to do. Mark out when your vacation is. Mark out that you usually get sick, have a cold for a week during the fall. Maybe I have a spring cold. Maybe you have 4 or 5 days during the spring where you get really bad allergies. So I like to look at life and have the life events as deloads. And then from there, if you're going really, really strong after 3, 4, 5 months and you need a week away or a few days away from the gym, go ahead. Now, if you reach a mental fatigue, like I had mental fatigue yesterday. I'm going hard, trying to sell my house, trying to sell this house. We're trying to move out of the downtown area. I have massive fitness equipment orders I'm trying to sell. I had new clients sign up out of the blue. So I had a lot going on, and I needed a mental break, right? So if you need a mental break, take an extra day, extra 2 days. You have to allow yourself a mental break. You have to allow yourself physical breaks that aren't planned deloads. I feel beat up, take an extra day off. I didn't sleep very well, take an extra day off. That's how life works. So we have to be smart about our training and understand that we need to allow for these things to occur naturally. And then if things are rocking after 3, 4, 5 months and we want to take a week off, then we can. I don't like to plan deloads. I like to let them happen naturally. Or if you're going to hop in a cut, maybe take a week, deload. Sometimes it's fun when you end a bulk, before you hop in a cut, just to take 2 to 3 days to relax, have pizza, have beer, binge watch Netflix, have 5,000 calories a day. It's not going to cause this extreme amount of weight gain. Let go, let loose, have fun, relax, party a little bit. You can do that like around the Super Bowl. When should you time a cut? I don't know. Probably the day after the Super Bowl would be a good idea, the day after New Year's. You have a couple days where you're having fun. So many people have a lot of fun, during the Super Bowl, that you could start your cut like the day after. Hope that helps some. Hard work is partly genetic. Nope. It's zero genetics. Hard work is all up here. It's all effort. It doesn't matter who you are. I've coached Special Olympics. I've coached teens. I coach people that just don't have it. And I've coached people that you think they didn't have it and they crush it. Hard work is 100% up here. Training legs hard on a cut can cause extreme hunger, so I don't train legs hard. You know what? You got to have some sit fu on a cut, my friend. Sit fu is suck it the up. Hunger is part of a cut. Now, I don't want you over pushing for PRs during a cut. You need to get cut over. You're going to be hungry. You know what? One of the things that irritates me, and I'm not talking about you, I'm just talking in general, is when people on a cut are surprised that they're hungry. Yes, you're hungry. It's a cut. So fight back. Fight back. It's a cut. You don't go in the corner like a boo-boo baby. Oh my G, OMG. Oh my goodness. I'm hungry. Who gives a shit? Get over it. That's what you need to tell yourself in the mirror. I'm hungry. My leg workout made me hungry. Get over it. Fight back. You know what the key to success is during a cut? Fighting back. It is. It's the key to success. Like all these magical plans, we can structure and move food around and do all this kind of stuff and add food volume. And all those things are tools. And they can be valuable tools. But at the end of the day, how big your balls are, how much you fight back is the greatest indicator of how successful your cut will be. You need to have big, juicy, testicular fortitude. Like when you're hungry, I do not give a shit that I'm hungry. I'm going to fight back. I'm hungry. It's okay to be hungry. It's okay to suffer. It's okay to be weak. You got to fight back. You have to fight back. You have to fight back. Like, I don't need you to do circus acts when you're training. And during a cut, it's okay to drop sets to 2 per exercise and hold steady. That's okay. That's okay. We can't backtrack from weight, but we don't have to over push for PRs. Does that make sense? What's the highest body fat percentage you can bulk to without having to worry about loose skin? Well, I don't know. I will know that when people lose 100 pounds, they usually have loose skin. So once you get over that 280, 300, 320 range, you're doing some Bon Jovi action right there, living on a prayer. You're halfway there or something. I don't know. Is that how the song goes? But if you're just like 220, man, you're not going to have loose skin. I'm lifting right now and sweating. That's good to hear. I never got soreness in side delts. No. What we need to understand, and this is a theory of mine, and it's based on some of what I've learned over the years and just experience. Number one, muscle soreness or soreness. Let's not call it muscle soreness, and I'll explain why. Varies. Some muscles always get sore, some don't get sore. Now, muscle tissue has fascia and connective tissue, right? Like when you look at a muscle, it's just not muscle. It has kind of that sleeve around it, that fascia and that connective tissue. Each muscle has a different fascia and connective tissue makeup, okay? A different structure. Why is this important? Well, the fascia has 9 times more sensory neuron density. Why is that important? That's what feels pain. That's where it senses pain. The fascia and connective tissue, not the muscle. So when you're sore, it's a good chance, and this is my theory, based on knowing that the fascia and connective tissue has 9 times more sensory neuron density, that what you're feeling is soreness in the fascia. It gets stiff. It almost calcifies the thing around the muscle, right? It holds the muscle together. So, because every muscle group has a different fascia makeup, it is my theory that that's why you're not feeling soreness even though you're working the muscle because you're experiencing fascia soreness and not necessarily muscular soreness. Does this make sense? In either case, every muscle group is going to have a different degree of soreness. Soreness is not an indicator of muscle growth. If tall people die earlier, it's not if, they do, and have less muscular looking physiques. That's not true at all. Compared to shorter people, why does everyone glorify being tall? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. That's some social, that's sociology and whatever. Why do we prefer a muscular physique over some of it's just built into our DNA. Like, why do men prefer certain looks on a woman? Some of it's survival. I don't know. But it's not if taller people die earlier. It's a reality. You can look at just basic mortality statistics. Tall people die younger because the body has to carry around more mass. It says here, researchers, an additional increase in height generates a 2.2% higher risk of death from all causes in men and 2.5 in women. It's because the body has to maintain more mass, the heart. So it's not if taller people die young, it's they do. The heart has to sustain more mass. So in general, that's not saying healthy tall people will die younger, but in general, compared to someone that's slightly shorter. Waleed Dilwall, Waleed backwards. I'm 175, 5'8". I've been yo-yo dieting for 3 years, and I didn't make much progress. Should I bulk until 185? That over a year, no. That's like way too slow of a bulk. It's not going to facilitate really good muscle gain. You want to do 10 pounds over 3, 4, 5 months. Deep Voice One. Have you tried the Mars bar? No. Nice bar to squat with, and when using the opposite way. I have a couple different squat bars, but I've not tried the Mars bar specifically. Barbell Bryce. In your torso limb split, for those unfamiliar, the torso limb split, torso and limbs. Limbs is legs and arms, right? And torso is chest, shoulders, and back. I find I get elbow pain from hitting triceps 4 times a week. Okay? Here's the thing. Elbow pain, from my understanding, is that some movements, the connective tissue around the triceps and elbow, they lag behind. This is my understanding. And it takes time to strengthen them. Certain exercises will bother them and certain more. Like presses tend not to bother the elbow as much as specific tricep movements. So that aside, if you are experiencing pain on a specific split, you need to move away from it. What you probably need to do is a body part split where you're only doing chest one day and shoulders the next, or you're doing a chest, shoulders day, and then an arms day. MG254 just finished 4 weeks on the Drunk Russian. For anybody not sure, you can find the Drunk Russian at superlivingtoday.com. It is basically a full body 4 or 5 days a week. I created this Drunk Russian almost 15 years ago. My squat has gone up 20 pounds. Nice work. That's awesome. Really glad to hear that. Thoughts on taking weeks off low volume training for, yeah, that's fine. I like to do that during a cut. It's good timing for a cut. Or you can just take some time off, recover, lick your wounds, deload, eat a little bit more. A desensitization period means you're not pushing for PRs. You're not doing high intensity techniques like rest pause or drop sets. You're just kind of sustaining, keeping in motion the strength and muscle without over pressuring. Jamie, what are your thoughts on a 3-day-a-week push-pull legs? That's fine. It's just like a body part split. It's going to have issues like you're cramming all your push in one day. So you're going to have chest, shoulders, and arms. What you could do, Jamie, is do chest, shoulders, back, biceps, legs, triceps. See what I'm saying? So you could take some of the pressure off the push day, and I like that idea. I just came up with that, so I'm going to write that down. Push pull legs where triceps are moved to leg day on a 3-day a week split. That's a variation I've never considered before, so I'm going to toss it in the hat, maybe create that. Do you think direct ab work? No, isn't necessarily no. I mean, depending on your goals, how much core strength do you need to build muscle? None, really. I mean, if you're just looking at building muscle, you need to do core strength. No. Is there some benefit to thickening the abs? Yes. How thick can they get? Not a lot, right? But you still, if you're never going to get lean and you just want muscle, it's rather pointless. So if you want muscle and you're going to get lean, then you probably want to do some work. Red Polar Bear, good morning. Thoughts on GPP? Conditioning work, general physical conditioning is a good thing. And I don't like to frame it as physical preparedness, right? That's crap that fat power lifters use, right, to make them feel like they're in shape. It's just humor. Get over it, right? But like general physical preparedness, we call that conditioning work or being in shape. So you want to do battle ropes, tire flips, whatever you want to do. That's good. Conditioning work's a good thing. It's never a bad thing for anybody. It just cracks me up where the powerlifting world calls it physical preparedness. It's a fancy word for being in shape, being able to do like tire flips and battle ropes and whatever. Big Sam, I know your stance on splits. However, if I hammered my back on a bro split for 14 sets and it feels fine, no. Stick to your plan, Sam. I don't have a stance on bro splits. I don't have a stance on bro splits. I'm not pro anything. So I'm not sure what you mean, Sam. So you'd have to clarify. But no, stick to your program. Trust the process. You don't want to encourage overuse injuries. If you trained your back hard for 14 sets, stick to the program. If you want to train 3 days again, how much, you're going to eventually, like if you continue with this, you're going to eventually encourage overuse injuries. That's as simple as it gets. Why do girls sometimes dislike when their boyfriend starts going to the gym? Because you have the wrong girlfriend. They're scared. Yeah, I mean, there can be something to that. I've seen men in their 40s lose weight and their wife try to feed them. It depends on the individual. We don't like to generalize at all, when it comes to things like this. But, let's be real here. There are some people like that fear their partner is going to get in shape and leave them. So that's a whole different psychology bag and mixed nuts. Big hairy ugly dude. Should I count pasta bread as my daily? I'm not sure what you mean, my friend. You count everything towards your daily intake. What is the major injuries you had? Nothing really. I tore my hamstring, but there's nothing I could do to prevent that. I believe the ground was uneven when I was squatting. But still, you train 38 years, you're going to pick up a tear. I've really had no other major injuries at all. So nothing I could do to avoid them because I haven't had them. Bob V. When taking time off due to illness, should protein... You want to... Well, what's the alternative, Bob? I'm not being facetious here, but you're going to eat all carbs. Like you're just going to be carby Barbie for a week. Protein intake, you got to get beyond the muscle thing. Okay, like I got to eat a certain number of grams for muscle. If you get sick, you know, you're going to eat like 50 grams of protein and all carbs. Number one, that's not a balanced diet. Number two, you're removing protein, which provides nutrient value. So it's a dysfunctional way of looking at things, right? I only eat protein for building and muscle. No, that's dysfunctional. Protein has to be balanced because it makes sense. And, you know, it makes sense because of the nutrient content in animal-based foods. So, and muscle repair and recovery is taking place at all times. You need it for balance. I'm doing a 10-pound bulk and cut cycles. It's going really well. Great. Should I consider taking creatine? Everybody should consider taking creatine. There's no downsides other than paying $20 out of your wallet. It can benefit you energy-wise. It can benefit you performance-wise. It can benefit your brain function. So 100%. I sell a creatine. If you want to put $5 in my pocket at superlivingtoday.com, just check out the subs tab. Jason, how come some former world champion boxers like Andy Ruiz are morbidly obese? I don't know. I mean, I'm not being dismissive, but people are people, man. I mean, people are far too complex for me to even guess. You know, some people get tired of the grind. You know, I'll say, like, when you're training hard for a long period of time, it's intense. It's intense. And it can lead you to eat more, right? To sustain your weight. And then when you stop training, I had this happen when I got out of the military. I stopped moving as much. I was trying to eat as much. I was just naturally eating as much. John, is it okay to watch YouTube in between sets? 100%. That's what I do in my home gym. Sam, if you want to improve a lift, specifically the squat, should you have one heavy day? There's no magic. I mean, that's concurrent periodization. We're having a heavier day and a lighter day. That's fine if you are already at least at early intermediate strength levels. If you're not really at least to probably a 250 squat, 275 squat, then you probably need to focus more time on building a base. But once you get there, if you want to have a heavier and lighter day, heavier, lighter week, that's absolutely fine. That's more concurrent periodization, and that's 100% fine if squat strength is your goal. Have you really only gained a couple pounds of muscle compared? Yeah, absolutely. I would say I was probably at 85% of my maximum natural potential when I was 3 years into lifting. And by 1997, I'm literally where I was now. I got pictures. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see real quick if I can find a picture. In a minute. So hold on. In a minute. Photos posted by you and Dottie Do. Let's see. Do I have the photo? Okay. So I have a photo. And I'm going to post it up. This was, okay, let me share screen. This is around 97. Okay. That's me, right? Look at all those megaroids, right? That's me. That's around 1999. If you look close, I'm sorry, that's the only photo I got. We didn't run around taking selfies. But that's me and my sisters and my mom. I'm a house, right? And I didn't gain maybe, you know, if I would have got, that was when I was at my strongest, I think, overall, my pressing. And I maybe gained a pound of muscle since then. My legs were huge, my arms were huge, my chest was huge. You know, it's just, yeah, it's just the way things go. You can't keep gaining. Aberrant, FK, Mary. Oh, okay. I don't know what that's all about. You have to get me up to speed. LKJ at 2. On bro split, how many days rest between chest and shoulders. You want to probably have 2 solid rest days. So if you do chest, you probably want to have off at least, if you do chest on Monday, then rest Tuesday, Wednesday, and lifting it on Thursday. You want to have at least 2 solid days off. Big Ben finally got time to get in one of these. Thanks, Ben. I'm glad you're here. Ben's been a client of mine for a long time. And, you get to a relation point with people that you've been with for such a long time where they feel like your brothers more than your clients, and Ben is one of those. Why was Ronnie Coleman so much bigger than other bodybuilders? Well, Dorian, we were talking about this on Team Massive. Dorian was very upfront about his drug use, and Dorian was using a lot of HGH, insulin, thyroid meds. Dorian was on a lot of chemicals. Arnold's era, I'm not saying they didn't abuse relative to their era. I don't know. But Arnold was more test and Dianabol and Deca, right? But like Dorian and Ronnie and guys like that were far more extensive in their selection of bonus chemicals. Jerry, 2 day a week, day 1 squat, vertical push, vertical pull. So overhead, lat pull down, pull-ups. Day 2, dead, bench, something similar, row, 3 sets each. Why isn't that every pushed for a normal person? Because it's not enough work. It's not enough volume. There is no magical split. It's a good concept, right? And but not everything is 1-to-1 balance in lifting. It's not boiled down to that stupid simple. It's not like I must do a squat, I must do a hinge, I must do a vertical push, I must do a vertical pull, I must do a horizontal push, I must do a horizontal pull. One of each, that's it. That's the magic formula. That's not lifting. That's not reality. The demands of every movement pattern are different. And not everything is a 1-to-1 ratio. So that's why, Jerry. It's just, this is where in training, when we boil everything down to a structure that is uniform and tidy. Well, life and lifting is not uniform and tidy, right? The goal in lifting isn't to get a 1-to-1 ratio or one of each. That's a construct that is arbitrary. That's why. Muscle and strength are heavily correlated. Absolutely. There is no muscle without progression. So why do some skinny Asian have monster calves? Why do fat dads have monster calves? All right. What progression schemes do you typically, genetics, what progression schemes do you typically give apart from your 3s? Last set, max set, rep goal system, and intuitive progression on certain lifts. Chris, follow-up question about training while competing in jiu-jitsu. I can't add mass due to weight categories. Why don't you move up in weight, my friend? I'd like to recomp. You got to plan your seasons. So the best thing to do if you have a season of jiu-jitsu and you don't want to move up in weight is to lose 10, 15 pounds and to build into it and peak for a meet. Does that make sense? That's what I would do. It's not about rep ranges, right? It's not about approaches. That's what I would do. I would cut and build into a competition rather than build and cut for a competition. How was the Woody Harrelson movie? I watched Champions last night. It was good. It's just a good movie. If you don't feel good about people in life, watching that movie, then you're broken. Big John Stracy. How many calories per day should I be looking to consume? No idea, John. I'm not being dismissive. But I have clients that need 5,000 to build, and I have clients that build on 2,500. So I'd be glad to help you out, John. The biggest thing I can say is check out Team Massive, teammassiveiron.com. Come join. It's a couple bucks a month, and I'll help you all you want. Zombie, milk with saturated fat. Saturated fat's not the enemy. We need to get over this stuff, guys. We need to move on. Saturated fat is not the enemy, right? We're being programmed. We're being manipulated. We're being fed propaganda, right? Saturated fat is necessary for good health. It's necessary for good hormones. People get ill, guys. Listen to me. People get ill from eating processed flour, processed sugar, junk food, fast food, trash food, all these additives, all this crap food, right? Saturated fat in animal products is not the enemy. You're not going to overconsume saturated fat from eggs. People are overconsuming crap and abusing their body. We need to collectively get our heads out of our asses. And Zombie, I'm not going after you. I'm just saying this to everybody. We need to get away from that. We're being manipulated and it's hurting us. It's hurting us. Greek yogurt, protein bars, meat, eggs, great diet. I feel sorry for you. You got worse metabolism than my granny. I don't have a bad metabolism. I sit all day for work. So when I was running, I could eat 3,500 and maintain. It's not bad metabolism. I sit all day. So you guys need to understand that I'm losing 2.5 pounds a week. I'm losing 3 pounds a week on that. I'm going low calorie, 1,800 calories a day on purpose. So it's not like I have a bad metabolism. I'm trying to do an aggressive cut. Jerry, there was a conversation between YouTubers about top 10 movements to speed. Yeah, I did a video on that. And Jerry, you can see that I did a video on that as well. How many movements do you think really need? How many movements do you need? You need 3 to 4 for major body part, probably about 4 per major body part, chest, shoulders, back, quads. So 16, probably 3 for most minor body parts. So you could probably get away with 25. Exercise variety is a good thing. Fat Chick in a Barn, one of my clients. Thank you for joining in. Please check out our YouTube channel. 6 Seth, any tippa or tricks to loading a trap bar? My gym has these large bumper plates. You can roll, you can get a 2.5 or 5 pound plate and roll the first plate on top of it, and that makes it easier to load the next plate. Does that make sense? So sometimes I roll a plate on deadlifts onto a 2.5, and it'll elevate just that first plate so I can get the next plate on. Bilal, happy Friday. Hope all is well. And Fat Chicken Barn said, pie. We're talking about cake and pie eating fatties. We're doing I'm doing a challenge on Team Massive, teammassiveiron.com. Come join, where anybody that beats me in April, loses more weight than me, gets a free creatine, free whey, or free $50 in massive gear. Is a weight loss percentage? It's just pounds. You have to beat me in pounds or kilos. Is that pound for pound or body weight percentage? Pound for pound. Got to beat me. And, you know, I know women are probably going to have a harder chance, but it's a challenge, right? Come join. Like, see what you can do. Beat all the other women. Oops, my bad. Didn't realize my first question. No worries. Regarding the April challenge, yeah, it's pound for pound. So I'll give you this. Okay. If you do 2 pounds for every 3 I do, then so if I do 12, you do 8. How's that for fair? Is that fair? I know it's hard, but I will tell you most of my male clients don't hit 12 a month. So that's a huge rate. So 8 for a woman would be pretty substantial. I think Reese was referring to the old days when he used to do concurrent. What is the use of a 6-foot barbell and a 5-foot barbell? I have no idea why someone decided to make a shorter barbell. Really don't know. I don't know the history of the barbell. And when somebody said, hey, 6 feet is too long, let's make a 5-foot barbell. Maybe it was a little bit lighter for younger folks. I really don't know. Amanda P, cable station you recommend for a home gym? Good question, Amanda. The one I believe I got, oh my goodness. I just go on Amazon and it shows me shop fashion plus run. It shows me like the plus size shop. Let's see, all departments, cable station, cable station. You don't want a wall mounted one, right? You want a plate stack. And you got to be really, really careful about these things, guys. You really do. Let me see. I don't recommend, like, I would look on Titan Fitness or something like that. Something that is, don't get a wall mounted like this. See, it's got the back plate. Wall mounted are generally cheaper, but you want to get a plate loaded one. This one doesn't have a bench pad. Like Titan Fitness, and I believe they have a cable. I think you guys can see this. Go away. I don't want great deals. Cable. And I believe they have a, here's just like, you don't want to get the wall mounted are cheaper. If you can wall mounted, great. No, I don't. I don't want your offer. Go away. If you can wall mount it, great. I don't like wall mounting stuff because I want to have the flexibility to move it around my gym. So this is what you're looking at. A lot of these places have monthly payments. My website, The Massive Fitness, has monthly payments, so you can pay monthly. So that's what I would do. Vaccine boxcar. Free weight pressing movements are the most brutal ones to progress for me. Okay. Every +1 is a battle. That's good. Embrace the battle, even though I'm attempting a slow bulk. Well, I don't know where your calories are. You should be at a bulk about 3, 4, 5 pounds, or 3, 4, 5 months, aiming for about 10 pounds. That's a good rate to encourage muscle growth. Eric, the beard of redness. When doing skull destroyers, I increase the weight on the second set. When I can do 30 on them, I increase the first. That sounds reasonable. Troy, client of mine, as was Eric. Hey, boss, first bulldozer calf set once per week be enough? It depends on how bad you want calves, Troy. I mean, how much time I don't like to spend time on calves. How bad do you want them? If you don't like spindly calves, I would probably do 6 sets a week minimum. Carlton, a client of mine, checking in. How's it going, Carlton? Amber, what do you make of the study where stretching calf muscles? I don't think it's a good use of time. It's just one random off study, and most people don't train calves hard enough to encourage growth anyway. What is a deload? Is that when you put the weight back on the rack? That's 100% right. I like what you're doing there. What's the lowest amount of fat you would recommend eating? No lower than 20%. Fat intake, you need it for brain health, for organ health, central nervous system, skin. Lower than 20%, you're getting a little sketch. Now, on a cutting diet, I would drop to about 20%. That encourages food volume. But some people don't do as well on a lower fat diet, so you might have to bump it up. Ovi says, I'm 5'3", I'm going to live forever. That's right. And with that British Steel avatar, you get bonus points on longevity. I don't know what that means. Do-op. Nicholas, how to train through mental stress. Hard, man. I mean, we don't talk enough about mental stress and mental struggles in life. And physical health and mental health is as important as physical health. So when your head isn't in the game, that's when you have to realize that it's even more important to do the right thing, because when we do the right thing, it helps with our mental health. When we don't take care of our body and we abuse alcohol, food, or we don't exercise, we feel worse. So you might have to pull back a little bit on lifting 2 sets per exercise, 2 workouts per week, but you gotta continue to do it, because when we are at those mental slumps, that's when we need it the most. Paladin, would you agree that the overhead press is the hardest lift? No, I wouldn't agree at that. No. I don't know. Like, people that struggle to progress on the overhead are generally struggling to progress on the bench. So I don't know that that's the case. As a coach, it's more about the lifter. They're either progressing on everything or they're not progressing on everything. Does that make sense? Barbell 4-4. How should I be training my quads with just a barbell? You're in a rough. Zerchers are going to be hard on the lower back. You want to do squats. You can maybe do landmine squats. You can do lunges. You can do Bulgarian split squats. You can do those with a plate. So you could do paused jump squats, then supersetted with goblet squats holding a 45, or supersetted with lunges. You could do a single leg Bulgarian supersetted with a single leg lunge. You could do pre-fatigue goblet squats, then 20 rep squats. You can do all kinds of shenanigans. So Zerchers are kind of the last in line for me. Eric, have you ever designed a full body where there's a different emphasis on different days? You can combine a full body and a body part split where you are doing legs every day. So you could do, you have 4 major areas, okay? You have chest, shoulders, back, and legs. Let's say you only want to train 3 days a week or rotate between 3 workouts. You could have a back day, or you could have a chest day, a shoulder, or a chest, a back, and a shoulder day, but do legs on each one of those days as well. So 1 exercise for each day. Does that make sense? So you're doing a chest day with a leg exercise, a back day with a leg exercise, and a shoulder day with a leg exercise. Or you could do a full body with emphasis. But if you do a full body with emphasis, you're going to have to pull back on something else. When I'm ill, I like to eat carbs. Me too. I have a rule: when I'm ill, I eat every damn thing. That's just the way I am. I don't want to have to worry about limiting food. When I'm ill, eating nachos, eating ice cream, do not care. I'm a big boo-boo baby, and I'm eating. Am I overthinking this? How do you know which exercises you want to do in your program? Well, you need some that are impactful that you like to do. Those are the cornerstone. You don't need any exercise per se, but you need a quality selection. I'm going to write that down as a video idea. You don't need a single exercise per se, but you need a quality selection. How do I know if I need a specific exercise? All right, just getting video ideas, all right? All right, where was we? So I've been experiencing elbow pain during bench and overhead, even barbell curls. It depends on where the elbow pain is. If it's on the inside of your elbow, that's called elbow tendonitis. That's probably what you're experiencing, and you need to use VersaGrips on your poles if that's where it's at. Beyond that, see a doc. Nicholas, does the body tend to hold on to more fat as a defense mechanism? I mean, if you got so much stress and cortisol, like, it's not like if you're in a calorie deficit, like, say you're super stressed, like the worst stress you could possibly imagine, and you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. I think a lot of this is just overblown paranoia. It might have a minor impact on it, but Gable Clark, I'd love to see some tier list videos on lifts and muscle groups. You got it. Nicholas, I haven't done barbell squats in a year. Repent and say 3 holy Tom Platzes. I haven't lost size. That's normal. That's okay. I like one exercise is not going to make or break things. If I stop deadlifting, I'm not going to lose back size. Like it's really easy to maintain. It's really easy to maintain muscle. So that's the easy part. Building it's the hard part. Maintaining it's easy. If I pick a weight for my top set of 3s and I get crazy amounts of reps, next time when you bump the weight up, it depends. If you're doing a 3s protocol where you do a weight and then you drop 10% for set 2 and then drop 10% for set 3, set 1, if you're like 12 or more, I would bump 10 pounds. You still want to go slow and steady because you want to allow the connective tissue to adapt, if that makes sense. Paladin, what's the most overrated exercise? Paladin, what's the most overrated exercise? Sorry, I had that twice in a row. Most overrated? I don't really get into that. What I will say is there are overrated groups of strength exercises that people do too much when they don't really like pause deadlifts, halting deadlifts, deficit deadlifts when they haven't built up enough back strength for them to really matter. Doing box squats when you don't really have enough squat strength to begin with, just a silly waste of just overcomplicating the strength process. Do you have a hack squat machine? I have a leverage squat from Titan. I love it. $700. It's a bear to put together, but I love it. It's great on the back. What's the most underrated food when it comes to muscle building? Ready? Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is the most underrated. Almost all protein, got good nutrient content, super flexible. You can add in Greek yogurt to add creaminess to something, and it's just all protein on a cut. You can add it in. You can add the sweeter stuff with berries. It goes on top of protein pancakes. It's a super flexible food. So, super underrated. Reese, for someone that doesn't like frequent cutting, would you ever advise a slower bulk? No. I mean, that's just a grind zone. If you don't like cutting, you shouldn't be bulking. I don't like cutting. I like a good physique. So cuts are going to be part of the process eventually. We don't really like cutting. I would say if you don't like cutting, what you need most is a serving of sit fu. Suck it the bleep up. And I'm not being hard on you, Reese, but you don't want to go too slow where you limit muscle growth. How long to rest in between mini sets on a rest pause? Usually I do 10 deep rests or 10 to 15 seconds. Jason, would you count a superset of 2 body parts? It's not a dumb question, but don't overthink it. I usually count it as 1 set. But like if I'm doing chest and I have bench and I have dumbbell bench and I have 3 sets of pec deck, and then I have 2 sets of dips, supersetted with push-ups. I only do 2. That on paper would only be 11 total sets. And, I usually aim for about 12, but that's close enough. It's like the overall impact of the thing. Is it in the range of 3 sets? Zerchers aren't really popular, but it's great for grappling. I would say general strength is great for grappling. So Zerchers, not specifically. If you like them, do them. Sam, you have fitness YouTubers who claim that overhead pressing should not be the focus. I know. That's them, and this is us. Staring at a tree instead of the big picture. Like somehow having a slightly angled whatever isn't great for the side delts. It's ridiculous. So what if the front delts are involved in overhead pressing? I got news for you. They're more involved in bench pressing. So if we're going to use this stupid fucking logic, and that's what I'm calling it, And I don't care who likes it. It's stupid fucking logic. Excuse my cussing. Like, the overhead press involves the front delts, therefore we can't do it for side delts. You know how fucking stupid that is? The bench press involves the fucking front delts. Are we going to stop doing pressing for chest? Then what do we have left? Pec deck? I'm sorry, but this is like, it really bothers me that you can do whatever you want, but that's them and this is us. You know, we're going to do a wide variety of exercises. We're going to get strong on all movement. You know what I found out during running when I didn't do my overhead presses a lot, and I didn't do them for 3 years of running a lot. I developed so much shoulder pain because I was benching only, and I developed imbalances. My pressing was so much stronger than my overhead pressing. So, you know what? Rear delt work, come on. You got to get strong on your rows and pulls. That's 90%. So, guys that focus on rear delt work, foo-foo rear delt work, and foo-foo laterals, God bless them, but we're not going to do it that way. Big, hairy, ugly dude, in your opinion, what's the number of years of lifting should be considered? It's not related to years, and I'd like to say it is, but it's not, Daniel. There are guys that I can go see at the gym at the YMCA that's been lifting for 40 years that are still beginners. So you can't really tie it like that. It's how much do they know about form, how much dedication do they have to nutrition, how hard are they training. Has nothing to do with years. John, how come some guys like David Goggins can stay shredded? Because they eat less and they have a greater mental strength. So it's as simple as that. Sam, following up on taller people dying younger statement. If you do a lot of cardio and take care of your diet, no, it's about overall weight, Sam. Like, it's not the height, it's the extra weight they carry. Like, every inch of weight tends to add 5 additional pounds of blood, bone, skin, organs, etc. Okay, so the heart has to support that. So, like, if you're 6'2" at 220, you're going to be fine, right? But if you're 6'2", like, taller people tend to be heavier people, so that pushes more people into the danger zone. Does that make sense? Last call for questions, guys. We got one left. Last call. Get them in now. Jason, is being shredded down to genetics diet? Some guys, look, I've met a couple guys that can stay shredded. I have. I've met a couple guys that have just been genetic freaks, really easy to stay lean. But for most of us, it's diet. Jason, thank you, dude. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you. Now, before you guys go, I appreciate you joining me. I'm going to be here every Friday at 11 Eastern. Please check out my website, superlivingtoday.com. I have tons of apparel, tons of different t-shirt ideas. Just go browse them. Just go check them out. Right? I make a couple bucks. I have supplements, top quality crap. This is not junk. If you want to support an independent content producer and put $5 in my pocket, I have really good whey protein. Tastes great. Only 110 calories per serving. And I have books. I have tons of workouts over at superlivingtoday.com. And if you want coaching, I guarantee something. No coach is going to work harder for you than I am. I'm with you. I don't just check in once a week. I'm with you 5 days a week. You can send form checks every damn day. Everything we do is custom, and I'm in the trenches with you. I will tell you one thing about coaches is that a lot of them just want to coach part-time. That's fine. That's what they do. But I'm a full-time coach, and I will give you everything I have. So thank you, guys. KB says, does extreme calorie deficit? No, it does not. An extreme, we're looking for a reasonable, aggressive calorie deficit, not extreme. Extreme is starving yourself. Even if you do lose some muscle during a cut, you're going to gain it right back when you are done. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys joining in, and we'll see you next week.
It's not almost over. You're not almost there. You're not almost there. You're not almost there.
You're not almost there. Thank you, guys.